The story began in a quiet fishing village. A little girl was playing by the lake while her father was getting ready to fish. He walked into the water with his fishing net. The girl started crying because she felt sad that her father was going into the water to work and leaving her alone on the shore. So the father came back out of the water and sat down to play with her. He made some funny faces and silly moves, which made the girl laugh and become happy again. Suddenly, the father started twitching in the water. Something beneath the surface was pulling him, dragging him into the depth. The girl kept laughing, thinking her father was still joking with her. She had no idea he was in real danger until he vanished completely, leaving only blood rising to the surface. The villagers believed the man had been eaten by a river demon, so they pooled their money to hire a Taoist priest to exorcise the demon. Through his rituals, the priest managed to catch a giant demon manta ray, confidently claiming the threat had been eliminated. However, a young demon hunter named Xuanzang passed by and sensed evil still lingering. He warned the villagers that the big fish was not the real demon and that the danger in the water was not over yet. The villagers, stirred up by the boastful priest, refused to listen. Instead, they grew angry at Xuanzang, beat him mercilessly, and tied him up, hanging him upside down in the village square as punishment. Believing the water was now safe, the villagers all went swimming, but soon their celebration was cut short. The true river demon suddenly appeared and swallowed a woman whole. The villagers panicked and scattered, thinking they would be safe if they stayed out of the water, but they were wrong. The river demon began extending its long tongue to hunt them down. The girl tried to run to her mother, but the demon's tongue wrapped around her. The villagers pulled with all their strength and finally tore the tongue apart, dragging the girl to the bridge. But in the next moment, the river demon leapt out of the water and swallowed her entirely. Her mother went insane, desperately diving into the water to save her daughter. Meanwhile, Xuanzang was biting through the ropes, struggling to break free. Underwater, the mother froze in terror when she came face to face with the monster. The river demon glared at her with rage while she cried and begged it to return her child. But of course, the demon ignored her pleas and devoured her too. The river demon then smashed the surrounding buildings, causing villagers to lose their balance and slip toward the river. A baby slid toward the water, but just in time, Xuanzang broke free. He jumped onto the bridge, then onto a floating plank, catching the baby before it fell in. As Xuanzang held the infant, the river demon appeared again. Using the demon's own weight, Xuanzang escaped at the last second with the baby in his arms. The demon got stuck on the plank and Xuanzang leapt back to safety, returning the child to his mother. At the same time, the cowardly priest was hiding among the crowd. Suddenly, a massive woman panicked and ran. Her weight shook the ground like an earthquake with every step. Finally, she leapt and landed on the river demon, smashing it against the plank and launching it into the air. The demon crashed down hard, right on top of the fleeing priest. Once out of the water, the river demon quickly grew weak and began dying. It suddenly transformed back into an ordinary young man, looking harmless. Without delay, Xuanzang pulled out his trusty 300 nursery rhymes book, the demon-subduing manual his master had given him. He solemnly sang a children's lullaby, hoping to awaken the demon's good nature. But the innocent rhyme had no effect. Instead, it enraged the demon, who roared in fury and lunged straight at Xuanzang. At the last second, a skilled female demon hunter intervened. This was Miss Duan, who brandished her magical weapon, the infinite flying ring. With one swift strike, she trapped the river demon and sealed it inside a puppet-like doll. The villagers, saved from certain death, knelt down and thanked Miss Duan, hailing her as a hero. But Miss Duan had no patience for Xuanzang's foolish methods. She openly mocked him, saying that trying to slay demons with nursery rhymes was a disgrace to their profession. After this incident, Xuanzang returned to his master's abode with his confidence shattered. He felt ashamed that, as a demon hunter, he had failed to protect the villagers. His wise old master remained calm and reminded him of their sect's core belief. The purpose of demon hunting was not to kill monsters, but to cleanse the evil in their hearts and guide them toward goodness. Encouraged to keep improving and seeking enlightenment, Xuanzang set out once more to find a way to defeat the pig demon that still threatened the land. Before long, Xuanzang arrived at a remote inn in Gao village. Earlier, a young couple had stopped there for a meal and mysteriously vanished. In truth, they had been killed and eaten by the inn's owner, who was secretly the pig demon in disguise. When Xuanzang stepped into the tavern, it looked full of cheerful patrons eating as usual, and a woman greeted him warmly. But Xuanzang quickly noticed something was terribly wrong. The other customers were actually reanimated corpses of the demon's victims. In the corner lay a blood-stained nine-toothed rake, the signature weapon of the pig demon. At that moment, Miss Duan suddenly burst into the tavern again. Without hesitation, she wiped out the horde of zombie-like thralls, reducing the demon's puppets to dust. The pig demon revealed himself in human form, a pale, bloated chef with a menacing grin. Duan and Xuanzang fought him fiercely and Duan managed to trap the demon inside her enchanted bag. She planned to seal it into another puppet, but the pig demon proved too strong. It burst free and morphed into a gigantic boar monster, collapsing the entire inn around them. Overpowered by its immense strength, Xuanzang and Miss Duan were forced to flee for their lives. After barely escaping, Miss Duan found herself deeply impressed by Xuanzang's courage and selflessness. Though his skills were limited, he had shown unwavering bravery by standing up to evil without fear, and this melted her heart. She quickly developed a crush on him and began pursuing him with comical determination. She openly confessed her admiration and tried to get close to him whenever she could. Xuanzang, however, was horrified by the idea of romance. He only wished to spread love to all humanity and saw romantic love as a distraction from his path to nirvana. Flustered, he literally ran away from her whenever she approached. Xuanzang assured both his master and himself that he sought only to spread universal love, not romance. But his shrewd master sensed that Xuanzang was conflicted about Miss Duan. He pointed out that Xuanzang's words did not match his heart, and then advised him to travel to Five Finger Mountain. There he could seek help from Sun Wukong, the Monkey King demon imprisoned by Buddha. The master believed that with Wukong's aid, Xuanzang could finally subdue the pig demon. Taking his advice, Xuanzang set out for Five Finger Mountain. That night, during his journey, Xuanzang was suddenly ambushed by a gang of mysterious men. To his surprise, they had also captured Miss Duan, but this turned out to be one of her wild schemes. She had staged the entire attack, hoping Xuanzang would save her and finally return her feelings. Even tied up and confronted with her theatrics, Xuanzang stayed aloof and rejected her once again. Angry and hurt, Miss Duan lost her temper and imprisoned Xuanzang herself, leaving him bound while she cooled off. Suddenly, the pig demon returned, crashing into their camp in a violent rage. Recognizing Miss Duan as the one who had injured him before, he went straight for her. He mauled her brutally, leaving her badly wounded. At that critical moment, 3 other demon hunters appeared. They were known by their flashy nicknames, Five Styles Fist, Almighty Foot, and Prince Important. Drawn by the chance to defeat the infamous pig demon, they clashed briefly with it and managed to drive it away, at least for the moment. Freed in the chaos, Xuanzang rushed to Miss Duan's side. He tended to her wounds with genuine concern. Seeing him so anxious, Miss Duan mistook his worry for affection. Believing that he finally cared for her, she confessed her love again, hoping for a different answer. But Xuanzang gently, yet firmly, refused once more, remaining faithful to his higher calling. Heartbroken and furious, Miss Duan tore Xuanzang's cherished 300 nursery rhymes book into pieces before his eyes. She left him in despair, the tattered pages scattering on the ground. After this painful moment, Xuanzang continued his journey alone. Determined to find the Monkey King, he endured days of difficult travel. At last, he reached Five Finger Mountain. In a quiet valley filled with blooming lotuses, he found a hidden cave sealed with lotus flowers. Inside, he discovered the legendary demon king Sun Wukong, trapped under Buddha's seal for 500 years. In the darkness, an eccentric, scruffy old man greeted him. This strange figure was none other than Sun Wukong himself, disguised in human form. Wukong cheerfully explained how he ended up there. 5 centuries ago, he had been the Monkey King who wreaked havoc in heaven, and Buddha punished him by trapping him under the mountain. Now, Wukong begged Xuanzang to release him from his prison. Sensing an opportunity, Xuanzang proposed a deal. He would consider freeing Wukong, but only if the Monkey King first helped him subdue the pig demon that terrorized the land. If they succeeded, Xuanzang assured him, Buddha would surely see his sincere repentance and perhaps grant mercy. Unbeknownst to Xuanzang, Miss Duan had been secretly following him. She now stepped into the cave and rejoined him. She was alarmed to see Xuanzang negotiating with the dangerous Monkey King, but she refused to leave and insisted on helping. Playing the role of a cooperative ally, Wukong suggested a plan. Since the pig demon had once been a lustful performer in his past life, they could use the seductive dance to lure him out. Miss Duan immediately volunteered to be the bait. Without hesitation, she began a mesmerizing song and dance in the moonlight, hoping to draw out the pig demon. The plan worked. Enticed by the performance, the pig demon emerged from the shadows. At that moment, Wukong dropped his act and unleashed his power. With shocking ease, he pummeled the pig demon into submission within moments. Miss Duan quickly pulled out her magic bag and captured the weakened demon, sealing it into a small puppet, just like the water demon before. Miss Duan was overjoyed. She handed both puppets, the pig demon and the water demon, to Xuanzang as gifts, giving him credit for conquering them. Then she shyly slipped the golden ring weapon off her own finger and offered it to Xuanzang, essentially proposing marriage. She even brought out Xuanzang's nursery rhymes book, which she had painstakingly patched back together after tearing it apart. Though she couldn't read and had reassembled the pages randomly, it was the thought that mattered. With these heartfelt gestures, Miss Duan hoped Xuanzang would finally accept her love. He once again declined her love. Determined to make her stop, Xuanzang even picked up a stone and cut off part of his own finger to slip off her golden ring. This shocking act crushed Miss Duan completely. Heartbroken, she walked away in tears, devastated by his rejection. As she disappeared, Xuanzang felt a pang of regret deep in his heart. All the while, Wukong had been watching quietly. Wukong pretended to sympathize. He tricked Xuanzang into plucking one of the lotus flowers at the cave's entrance. Unknowingly, Xuanzang removed the final seal that kept the Monkey King imprisoned. With an evil laugh, Wukong strode out of the cave, free after 5 centuries, and instantly restored his true form, a wrathful monkey demon clad in battered golden armor. Xuanzang was horrified and shouted that even outside the cave, Wukong could never escape Buddha's reach. Enraged at the mention of Buddha, Wukong grew furious. With one mighty strike, he sent Xuanzang flying, leaving him gravely injured and coughing blood. He then grabbed Xuanzang by the hair and yanked it out by the roots, ripping all the hair from the top of his head. In an instant, Xuanzang lay on the ground, bloodied and bald, looking like a monk against his will. At that moment, the 3 rival demon hunters appeared dramatically, eager to claim the glory of defeating the Monkey King. They charged with their best techniques, but Wukong was far beyond their power. With contemptuous ease, he destroyed them. With a thunderous roar, he literally blew their bodies apart, wiping them out completely. Defeating the hunters only fed Wukong's arrogance. He was about to finish off the injured Xuanzang when, to his shock, Miss Duan suddenly returned. She threw herself in front of Xuanzang to protect him. She taunted Wukong and drew his fury onto herself. Wukong, now completely enraged, attacked her with full force. She fought bravely, but she was no match for him. As Miss Duan lay dying, Xuanzang finally realized how much he loved her. Holding her in his arms, he confessed through tears that he had loved her all along. Miss Duan smiled faintly and passed away in his embrace, fading into specks of golden light in the wind. Grief-stricken, Xuanzang clutched the patched-up nursery rhymes book. Looking closely, he realized the random pages now formed the greater sutra of the Buddha's light. In that moment, enlightenment struck him. He recited the sacred sutra with pure sincerity, praying for divine help. A blinding beam of light split open the sky. The giant palm of Buddha descended and smashed Wukong to the ground, pinning him beneath it. When the dust settled, Wukong was trapped and unable to move. Xuanzang approached calmly and took Miss Duan's golden ring. He placed it on Wukong's head. The ring constricted and transformed into a golden headband. Sun Wukong was now destined to become Xuanzang's disciple. Through tragedy and loss, Xuanzang reached enlightenment. He understood that only by experiencing pain and attachment could one truly let go and embrace a greater love for all. His master bestowed upon him the title Tang Sanzang, the ordained monk who would journey west. Tang Sanzang then set out on the legendary journey to the west, joined by his 3 reformed demon disciples. The water demon became Sha Wujing, the pig demon became Jubaji, and the humbled Monkey King remained as Sun Wukong. Together, 4 of them began their sacred journey to the western heaven to retrieve the Buddhist scriptures.